So, okay, well, let's get this rolling. First of all, I want to congratulate Beth. I mean, she has been a role model to me and to other wrestlers, because I can't just say female wrestlers, because she set the bar where it doesn't matter if you're a woman or a guy. She put on a show and she was one of the best superstars ever, and she still is one of the greatest superstars. And it was such an honor to have her on the show, and me and her really got to connect once when we both had to go through physical therapy. You know, that's a hard time, and you know, I was always got blessed to be able to have her, you know, by my side, so I appreciate it.
It was ACL, right? We had stereo ACL injuries, and that's it was my first like ligament surgery. I don't know, was that your first too? Like a ligament? Second. And the rehab from that type of injury is really difficult. It's different than a bone break, and it can be demoralizing. So it's so nice to have like a friend that we bonded over that initially. But Wes, you're just such a wonderful person. I adore your dad, and you guys your family has just been such a big part of my career. I have so many great stories about your dad when he was working in WWE.
Well, let's hear one of them. Let's hear one of these stories.
Okay, I do have
good.
I have a couple. Well, one, this is okay. Early in I'm sorry, I'm like already bogarting time. Put a microphone in my hand, and here we go. But so I had a match on TV, and this may be shocking to you guys, but our time was cut. Wow, the girls' time was cut. Shocking. So anyways, it was early in my career, and I'll never forget, like, standing in Gorilla, and I was wrestling Maria Kanellis at the time, and Gerry said to me, he goes, "Girl, you can have 30 seconds, or you can have no match." And I just looked at him and I was like, "Give me the 30 seconds!" So you helped me arrange, like, we just sent Maria out, I just clobbered her, and we just like did 30 seconds of like a little brawl. But at that time, like, you looked at me like, and gave me that motivation to be like, 30 seconds is important. That's a commercial for me as a performer, and I'm not gonna give up. Even if it's 1 second of me winking, it's worth it. I'm gonna fight for that. So I appreciate you fighting me for for that little moment. And then I remember being in the ring, and on the opposite end, see, at this time, the ladies our times were cut a lot. And so I was in the ring wrestling, and I had a shocking experience, and I was in there with somebody that was very inexperienced. So it wasn't necessarily easy to call stuff on the fly with some of the girls who were inexperienced, excuse me. So in the ring, I was given the message that you have 3 extra minutes, which was like, wait, what? Clearly I'm cut. No, I have more time to fill. So because I was inexperienced, and then in addition, I was in the ring with somebody else that was inexperienced. So we just kind of did what we had planned and just went home. 1, 2, 3. And like went home early, which I did not know at the time is like the cardinal sin on television wrestling. So I get to the back, and I thought everything was great. The referee raised my hand, and I was like, oh, I'm on a roll here, you know. My work in WWE is off to a great start. I get to the back, and I see Gerry, and everybody's like looking at, it's dead silence. And then Gerry goes, "How do you feel?" I said, "I feel great." He goes, "What did you do out there?" I said, I just did the match as I was supposed to." He goes, "But we gave you time, you know," and it was a really good learning experience. And I remember as I walked out of Gorilla, I ran into William Regal, and he goes, "Just say sorry and never speak of it again." Never speak of it again. And but it was those were like great learning experiences. And then we had to talk about it a little bit later about like how important, how valuable that commercial time is for you. And you know, you fought for us to have that time and to get everybody that moment, even though it's an organic, moving, vehicle. So that was a good learning experience for me early in my career to hit your times, hit your mark.
And my rebuttal to Beth, this is Gerry Brisco right there, and I happen to be the father of this guy right here, Wes Brisco. So I enjoy getting that. Are you Wes Brisco's father? I enjoy hearing that question. But in rebuttal to Beth, you know, the ladies in the beginning of WWE were used to attract the young men's eyeballs to our product. And the position I was in, kind of managing the show and then making sure the flow of the show went right, you learn after a while, because it's so critical, as Beth was just saying, and Sergeant, some of these guys will back up you. When you're on live TV, you're either taking time away from the main event that's drawing you hundreds of thousands of dollars and helping put food on your table, or you're adding to it. It's better not to take away. And we had a lot of guys who were selfish and would take that time away. But the ladies that I worked with during that time, you're sitting there and we're traveling up the road. We develop a certain respect for each other on the road and professionally in the ring. And so you know the people that you can trust, and you know the people that you got to cheat on. You know the people that you got to kind of back up a little bit time on, so because they're going to go long anyway. But you know the people who are dedicated and are going to hit it. And I think those two experiences made Beth in the future just hit her time just cold turkey every time after that. But what I'm saying, there was her and Trish and Vicky and Victoria and Lisa and a couple other girls that their matches were so good that I would become the fan that I am. And you didn't want to cut their matches. They earned that time. And Beth will agree, there were times where they were expecting a cut, but I would add time to the match because the match was going so darn good. And I'm a fan, and I enjoyed seeing the pettiness between the two women instead of I enjoyed the other side, don't get me wrong, but I enjoyed that too. But I'm a wrestler, and I enjoyed the hard work that Beth and Trish and these other lady pioneers that made this division what it is today. So she was a pleasure to work with, and Beth, you impressed me, and you impressed a lot of eyeballs, and you earned that respect and that time.